Good evening, good evening. Come on in here. It is Tuesday, a beautiful day. Just come on in. We are so happy to have you. Just come on in and let's share your screen with someone else. If this is your first time on, please like the page. Set up your notifications. We are so happy to have you here today. Good evening, Johnny. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. You know, obstacles come in all forms, such as murder, suicide, low self-esteem, obesity, bullying, lack of education. These are only some of the roadblocks that deter our young people. Well, my platform is designed to assist high school age and young adult males as they follow my basic principles to overcome these obstacles and to build their best lives. I believe it is better to train early rather than to fix later. This month, have been talking about relationships. I believe relationships are so important. And because our young people are transitioning from different schools, some are going from middle school to high school to college, or trade school, or military, or they may be transitioning to a new job or starting their own business. You run into all types of people, so it is important that you know how to relate and deal with people, because you're going to run into some good ones and some bad ones. So we welcome you to our Leaders Chat this afternoon. Hi, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. And I am pleased to have Minister Carol Crockett on our Leaders Chat today. How are you doing, Carol?
Hey, I am great, Deborah. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I am going to tell you a little bit about Carol at this time, and then we will get on to our topic for tonight. But Minister Carol Crockett is a humble servant, and she loves Philippians 2:7, who walks worthy of the calling of God that is bestowed upon her. Carol is on a mission as a word specialist. What we articulate, we activate. She is a proud graduate of Prairie View A&M University, where she received her degree to teach and has done so for many years in school and churches alike. She is a wife, mother, sister, aunt, and very proud to be called Cece by her grandkids and great grands. I love it. Carol is a long-standing member of Pathway of Life. It is here where she utilized the tools that were gained from the Ministers' Roundtable that assisted her to step into her ministry calling. She is an active and continuous learner, looking to craft her skills of teaching daily. She is a gifted teacher and minister of the word, who is accustomed to seeking diligently to find those hidden treasures in order to present the truth in practical ways to others. Carol regularly ministers at Pathway of Life Incomers class. She is a regular minister of record for Pathway Kids, conference speaker at women retreats, group leader in Bible study fellowship, and she is a seasoned intercessor. Her wisdom reaches many as she presents the truth in love. It is her passion and joy to encourage others by presenting the good news of God's word. And I have only known Carol for about a year and a half, but I can tell you she is a sweet and caring lady. I love her to death. So we are here today, and our topic is teamwork makes the dream work. Mm-hmm. That's what we are going to be talking about. So again, welcome, Carol. And do you want to tell them a little bit more about yourself, or something that I didn't mention before we get started?
Well, Deborah, good evening again, and good evening to the Build Your Best Life audience. And thank you so much for inviting me today to discuss and talk about teamwork. I love teaming up with you as well. However, you've done a great job in talking about me, so I don't think that there's anything else I need to add other than I think you said I'm a group leader for BSF, and I love that. And I do enjoy encouraging others, whether it is in ministry or in life. That is what one of my passion is also, just to encourage people, like you're saying here, to be your best life, be the best that you can be, and also be everything that God has called you to be.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we're going to get started talking about teamwork. So we know, nowadays it's just, no matter where you go, whether it's in ministry, leadership, school, university, on the job, it's always teamwork. Everybody seems to have a concept of teamwork. Well, teamwork, that concept, it impacts us in all phases of our lives, even at home.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any one area that you think depends more on teamwork than another?
Well, I just simply because I enjoy talking about words and how important our words are, I thought communication was one aspect that I don't think we can do anything unless we become effective communicators. And so I just said communication simply is the key to everything, because if we cannot clearly articulate the things that we want to be able to say and be able to say them with fluency and conciseness and being precise about what we say, I just really got stuck on that. Communication is the key. And this is an opportunity where, in building teams, it's an opportunity for everyone to be able to express their particular thoughts and be able to express and understand even their particular roles as far as a team member. It helps you to even understand your task and what the expectations are and the problems and even what the solution may look like. But teamwork and communication, I think, go hand in hand.
Great. Sounds good. So, there's a well-known quote by Charles Harper that says, if everyone does a little, no one has to do a lot. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think this is true?
I think it's true, but let me back up and say one other thing about this communication. There are many ways that we communicate that's not always verbal. It's our unspoken words are there, our body language, eye contact. You talk to them a lot about that. Even the lack of eye contact and our attitudes, they speak volume. They communicate various things to us. But yes, I do believe that quote is correct. We talk about how do you eat an elephant? One little bite at a time. That's exactly what that quote to me means. It's everybody doing a little bit and no one has to do a lot. So I believe it's true. We all have responsibilities to take the task and to accomplish the task. But I thought about, it's like rowing a boat. Several people in the boat rowing. Everybody is rowing for the same purpose, to get to the same destination. But if one person stops rowing, doing their part, then it affects the entire, where they're going to go. It's going to affect the progress as well as the process. So I believe that it is true that if we would just take a little bit at a time, we can reach the bigger goal together. That's a great question as well.
Oh, well, thank you. I know I had never heard that quote, and it's a lady that used to attend my church, and she would be over like the church anniversary or whatever, and she would always thought out, if everybody does a little, nobody will have to do a lot. And I just thought that was so powerful, but it is so true.
It is true.
And sometimes, you have people, you're talking about people and relationships, they will just try to take it on their own. Well, nobody can do it like me, so I'm just going to do everything. They don't say that out loud, but that in their actions, that's what they tend to do. Mm-hmm. And, that can cause you not to have outcome that would be as favorable if you allow other people to team in up with you and assist. You know,
Right. And I said, when people are like that, they are actually creating a monument of themselves. I, me, mine, and mine, for me. That's just a monument that you're creating for yourself. And you don't want to create that type of monument because it becomes all about you. So I just think that we have to make sure that that's not the monument we're setting. I, me, mine, and myself. We didn't, God didn't intend for us to be in this world all alone. He intended for us to be connected and, like you say, in relationships. And so when we start thinking we have to do it all by ourselves, no one else can do it better than me. I just think that you're creating that monument. And if you take that disposition, you actually, if anything goes well or goes wrong with it, then it is all about your mistake, your problem. But if you don't make it just all about you, and you learn to reach out and help someone or reach out and ask for help, you will find that there are many, many ideas out there that may be better than yours.
right? That
Mm-hmm.
is so right. Nobody has the patent all to themselves, and whatever I do it, that's the way it has to be. So many other people have creative, new ideas, fresh minds get together, and you can get something that's so much better.
Absolutely, so much better. And even the joy of knowing that you reached out and you can see that it was a team effort, and and the team gets a chance to, if you fail, you got to take that as the team. But if it's something that you're winning at, then you have the opportunity to share all of that with someone else instead of all by yourself. Nobody gonna give you praise. You over there praising yourself when you can have a whole team of people, excited and giving accolades to each other. So yes.
Yep, that works well. Well, good evening, Dan and Peggy. Thank y'all for tuning in. All right, many don't like the concept of teamwork because they prefer to work alone. Do you think this may hinder these people? Those people that we kind of talked about them, but they are, they're supposed to be on a team, but they don't want to be. They just want to do it by themselves. Is that hindering them in any way?
Absolutely. You're missing out on however many is on your team. You're missing out on each one of those persons' opportunity to share and be able to give you more insight, because none of us know everything. And I think when you don't embrace teamwork, you not only cheat yourself, but perhaps there's something someone needs to know that you are not sharing, and that could benefit other people. So to me, I say, yes, it does hinder them. And I'm a people person, so naturally I'm going to think that, because I really enjoy people. But, collaboration within a group can help solve difficult problems. It allows you to brainstorm. It allows you an opportunity to exchange ideas and creative ways of doing things by working together. And so, like I said, it helps you find a better solution. Or even if your idea was great, it gives you an opportunity to be confident that you had the best idea and the team went along with it. So, but one thing I do think about teamwork as well, it helps you with deadlines. It helps, you don't have to think about your own time, your own little organized book where you got yours there and you could miss something. But to me, it's like a great peer pressure opportunity, because if I'm missing something, or if I miss a date or a time, I've got my other peers there helping me to remind me, because if you've broken the work up in bits, everybody got a responsibility, everybody got a duty. And so to me, it's like you get a chance to have that peer. To me, that's good peer pressure, to know that you got a deadline, you got a responsibility, you got things that you want to accomplish at the end, and you are able to have them pushing you along. And I always say, well, you know, we've heard that two heads got to be better than one.
Right.
Anytime, it's got to be better than one.
Yeah, and it does help you, you know, push you, and then you can learn different things.
Yeah.
I remember, and this probably been like 20 years ago, but it was like one of the first kind of events that my church did that was outside of, you know, just doing the regular church events. And it was going to be an event we were doing for a housing project in the community. And they had asked my husband and I to be over it. And so, you know how usually when you have something, when it's time to clean up, everybody's gone. But when we started working on it, I created a checklist. And so, of course, I had set up, clean up, who was doing what. And I did have on there clean up, getting the equipment and stuff back to church. But everything I had labeled in, and you know, you had to get volunteers to do all that stuff. And so when we met to go over everything, the lady said, "You got a checklist?" And I said, "Yeah, that's how we make sure that, you know, because if I went over the checklist, as I go over the checklist today, if there's something that I hadn't thought of, then somebody else in the room can say, well, hey, did you think about this? Did you think about that?" And we would add it to the checklist. But then it's to make sure that once we come up with that, somebody has been assigned to all the tasks. They know what time they need to be in place. They need to know what they need to wear. If they got to clean up, they know not to leave, blah, blah, blah. She said, well, that's a good idea. Can I get a copy of that checklist? You know, so it helps.
Yes, it does. And that's what I really love about teamwork, because there may be things that, like you said, she never thought about a checklist, but now she walks away knowing the significance of having a checklist and having a place where you can check off things. So it does help you with organizational skills as well, because like I said, all of us don't have the same skills, and so it just really helps us to be able to share ideas and be able to feed off of one another. You'd be surprised about what you can learn by just simply feeding or listening and then feeding off someone else. And I said too, it keeps us from just being tunnel vision. That tunnel vision is what it does. It helps us. So it really helps open your mind, like you just said, open your mind to new possibilities. So a new possibility for her is now she probably knows how to use a checklist and see the value of having that in order to get a big project done.
Right. Hello, Linda. Thank you for the input. Yep, I appreciate it. And who is that? Is that okay? I don't know what that is. Mr. Jones. I think it's Mr. Jones. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. All right. If y'all have any comments or information that you want to share with us, please feel free.
And Miss Deborah, don't you also think it helps us to be able to become continually to develop our personal communication skills by working in a team? You're constantly being able to develop what your communication skills is by working with your team. So I just think working in a team is really smart. You don't have to be, and one thing I've learned, you don't have to be the smartest one in the group always. You may sometimes rise to the top, but you need to be okay that you're not the smartest in the group, but you walk away with so much more when you are able to allow someone else to tell what their ideas are and look at their ideas, and just the brainstorming all by itself. And I don't think you can brainstorm by yourself, do you?
Nope. Because it's gonna be by me, myself, and I.
Exactly. That monument that you create, that's who you're gonna ask. And I've been under the pressure, and I think Coach Solis told me that one time. There is no I in team. So when we make it about I, you've already eliminated the team itself.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I had to capture that. There is no I in team.
Oh, I thought he had shared that with all of us, but yes.
I've heard that before, but I just wanted to put it in the comments.
No
That's a good
I
one.
in team. And I was like, so I sat there and I was like, he's right. I spelled it out to myself. TEA. It's really not an I in team. But that's a part of being a team, because some things you don't think about, and and you just haven't put any you haven't really thought about it. But when somebody else on the team comes back and share that with you, and I just always remember that no I in team. So
Right.
mm-hmm.
It's most definitely. Now, we all know that, as each generation comes about, they think differently, they do things differently. Now, in your opinion, do you think that today's generation, so that would be Generation Z and the millennials, if they are a generation that prefers to work solo, or they're in with teamwork as well? Have you had any?
Well, I literally had to ask some millennials and those, because I was like, what do y'all think? Because I mean, I don't know. But anyway, and it appears that it varies for them. They both, all of them pretty much said it varies, the approach that they're going to take, how the work is organized, how the responsibilities are, what the specific project will be, determines whether they want to work solo or in teams. So it varies. So they were like, no, sometimes I if it's something specific that I think that I can work better with, I'm better with that. But I have nothing against working in teams. So I think it from the ones that I talked to, they kind of swayed more toward teamwork. But they also said there are times that they thought that they would rather work alone. So I think from those that I talked to, there's a benefit in both, and sometimes it depends actually on the task. So they said they embrace the teamwork, and I think our millennials have pretty much always kind of been pushed into more teaming. I think about even when I was teaching, and that's been years ago since I retired, but we started embracing the concept of team, working in teams and working in groups. So I think that generation has probably been more accustomed to working in teams way before they get out into the work community. So I think that's why they can see it from both ways, because they've kind of been trained to think like a team and work as a team. And so, but yet and still, there will be some who will not want to be on a team, because there were some who did not want to be in a team, in our grouping. They didn't want to do that. And so, but, you still try to encourage them and help them see the benefit of actually working with someone else. And when you think about the millennials too, they've had all these study groups together and all those kind of things, and which is very beneficial for those, if you're going to school, and some people have one-on-one tutors, but as they get in college, they have those study groups. And so that's an opportunity to work together, and you got to complete projects and tasks. So I think they've been geared more toward the team effort than probably back in my day. But I now do, and I can understand and believe there's so much more, because I just believe that we work better together.
Yes, it's good. And, of course, in everything I do, the bottom line is for our young people. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I asked this question, because I found that, in the undergrad college, every single course has a team project.
Wow.
And so you learn very quickly what can go on with a team. So by the time you get on the workforce, you got the whole concept, because you know about being on those teams where people don't want to work with you, on those teams where somebody's going to wait till the last minute, and then they're going to show up and try to get credit, and they haven't done anything to help the team out. So, but they do get a lot of practice with
Wow.
those teams. And so with that can really that can make some people like hate teams.
Right,
I
right.
was like, oh my goodness. Not only did I wait till I got older to go to school, now I gotta work on these teams. And you know, it's nothing like somebody come up 2 weeks before the assignment's due and they're like, oh, I didn't know I was in your group.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, well,
mm-hmm.
you know you was in our group. Everybody's in the group. It's already pre-labeled. It's in the little bucket. So you were in our group, so you couldn't have been somewhere else. And I have been on in a class where I had to do the entire project by myself. You know, nobody showed up.
Are you
This one
serious?
dropped out. I think we started out with 8 people, and somebody dropped the course. Somebody said, "Well, I thought I was in group A because they wanted to be in the group with their friends." The professor
Mhm.
allowed them to go over there. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Wow. Now that would be hard to do, you know. And so, would you say the professor even knew they were going and left you there by yourself?
All right. Well, I guess she didn't know everybody was going to be gone, but you know, some she did allow some to transition to another group.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, well, just go ahead and you know we'll just make sure that you're the only one to get the grade." But I hope so.
Oh, if I've done all the work,
Anymore.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And just like you were saying, you're going to have, there's many personalities that's going to be within the group. I mean, we know that, just like you were saying in the beginning, we're going to experience all types of people. And so you basically have to learn how to work with, or in your case, work without a lot of their personalities when you were
Right.
doing that project. But also just the fact that you ended up having to do it by yourself when it was supposed to have been a team effort, that's still an opportunity for you to learn even more about team and how people handle and that's another one of my thoughts too. People you know, we have to, one of the things that I think is important is not only communication but being responsible, taking responsibility for the things that you've been asked to do. And so when we don't do that, just like you were left by yourself, it leaves other people to take on, to lift, you know, to take your load. And that's the way it was not intended to be. It was intended for us to all roar together and not one person roaring by themselves.
All right. Okay, and this comment says, take the time to see what they enjoy doing and what their expertise is and delegate accordingly. Yeah, that's good. I like
That's
that.
really good. I appreciate that, because I was like, okay, these only millennials I know, so I've exhausted them, but I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good, you know, because that, you know, even though that was a bad situation and that could help, you know, happen to our young people, that is why we're doing this, because we want you to know that you have to be flexible, because those are the type people that you're in working with
Right.
later on. And even if you own your own business, you will have employees like that. You
Absolutely.
know, some people, they don't take their responsibilities
Mhm.
seriously, or
Right.
they're just, you know, lackadaisical. They just,
Mhm.
anyway, the wind blows, that's how they are on a particular day. So then that helps you to learn additional skills and what you need to do. Because first of all, you know, I know it's this thing about you don't tattle. But if you're in school and, you know, your grade depends on this, and a lot of times it's a big portion of your grade, then you let the professor know, you know, I'm working on this, but, you know, right now there's only 2 of us on this team. There's only 3 of us on this team. So then they know that what kind of work you're putting in. So that will also assist you in your grade and what type of person you are. So
Right.
that communication that you started out with is very important.
Yes, it is. And the SISLT is Tina Jones. That's who made that comment. And so, but she was saying too, learning how to delegate. But like you were just saying, you recognize characteristics in other people that you don't want to duplicate, and you recognize the sense of taking responsibility, because if they left you out there by yourself, you don't want to do that same thing to someone else.
Right.
And now like back to the tattling, I'm just telling you, I'd be a songbird, sister. Not me. I'm just gonna say, but I understand the peer pressure of our young people, and they don't want to tell. But my question would be: is it fair for you to do all the work, and like you say, and they get credit, or they come along just in time to work on a little bit of something, and you get all the credit? So they get, you have to share the credit with them. I just think letting the professors know this is what happened. And I used to tell my students, if you just have to leave me a note and keep walking, that's fine. That
Right.
you don't have to share with the rest of the group what you did or whatever. But that person, the professor and the teacher, needs to know that that's what's taking place.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And hi, Solandra. Thank you for tuning in today. And we are talking about teamwork makes the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, can you reflect on what someone can do to overcome being an inadequate or an uncooperative team? And that's what we were just talking about. So, they're
Yeah.
either inadequate, they just don't have the skills, or they just don't cooperate.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I thought about is that if you got someone, first of all, is the inadequacy in you? First, I think we have to look at ourselves. And I think Coach talked to us today about having realistic goals. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to begin to set up, you reflect on what it is that you're feeling, what's making you feel. That's why. Why are you feeling inadequate? So you ask yourself that question, and if you know that some of those things are true, then you have to take full responsibility and begin to work on those. And I said, don't beat yourself up. If you make a mistake, that it's okay to make the mistake. But if you're feeling inadequate, why? And you have to begin to look first at yourself and then see if your inadequacy is valid. Because sometimes we need validation. And so that was my other thought. If you're feeling that way, are you feeling that way because maybe your supervisor or someone had to correct you and you don't like that feeling, or you didn't get that accolade that you wanted? Because that happens in life. You can not get all the accolades you think you need. But I think you have to begin to look at yourself, and then you have to begin, after you looked at yourself and ask yourself that question, then you have to begin to start developing those skills or whatever it is that's making you feel inadequate. And the other part of that, you asked about what was that? You ask about opposing those people who oppose you, and feeling inadequate or uncooperative. And I know sometimes if we start feeling inadequate about ourselves, then we will take on this thing where we want to lash out at someone else, say things to other people. So we have to begin to look at what it is specifically that's making you feel that way, and begin to investigate to see what it is that you can do to change, and know that I said here that you want to always, when you think you're inadequate, and you say this all the time, don't say I can't, say it's gonna come. Or don't say say but, instead of saying what you can't. But I'm not there yet, but I'm going to work on that.
All
And that,
right.
to me, is a way that you can continue to look at your inadequacies and know that you're not perfect. And so you want to begin to see those things that are keeping you from being everything that you need to be. And believe in yourself. Believe you can change. Believe you can increase. You can improve on those things. And I don't focus. Look at the mistake. Look at what's causing the inadequacy, but don't stay at that place. Do something to move forward.
Well, I like that. Move forward. Don't remain stagnant. You got to move forward.
Move forward. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we got some good points going on here.
Well, great. Let's see what they're saying. What can you do to change? Yeah. Positive. Somebody said positive. That was you. Positive self-talk. And you really do have to begin to talk to yourself and encourage yourself, because it's so easy to, I always say that power words, but we can say some wrong things to ourselves that will keep us in a place that we feel like we are not, we're not being adequate. So you just have to really begin to look at what's causing you to feel that way, and begin to correct that. And like I say, believe in yourself and believe you can improve. Even if you're feeling inadequate today, then see what you can do to not have that same feeling tomorrow, because that's the way we get stuck. Then you just redirect your focus, your efforts, your strategy, be realistic about your goals and your performances so you can move from that place. And I was saying, don't say but, say and, because it will help you balance things. But might keep you there, cancel out stuff. But and means that there is something that I can do better to eliminate this feeling of inadequacy. And if it's something true, I need to work on that. And sometimes, we may have to make a decision. We have to move on and move forward in life.
Right. Yes, and just like Coach Ricardo was telling us this morning, a lot of times people, and this can be on teams, and they're trying to help you, uplift you, but you take offense to it.
Right.
They see that you misunderstood maybe the instruction, or you going along the path, to solving the situation in the wrong way. And they try to tell you, and you go off the deep end, well, I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm on the team, just like you're on the team.
Right.
But you have to listen sometimes when people are trying to help you. Don't always take offense.
Because sometimes we can get hurt in the offense, and like he was saying today, and we can live in that offense and stay in that offense. And then if you leave one team or leave one setting and go to another one, you're dragging some of that baggage along with you as well.
That is so true. So you need to resolve it so you don't take it with you.
Right. Because that's what caused that, to me, that uncooperative person sometimes, because they have felt somewhat inadequate in the team, or someone has said something to them. But if we don't deal with that, that why I'm feeling this way or why I'm thinking this way, if we don't deal with that, it simply not only hurts you, but it hurts the people that you're around and the people that you can meet in the future if you don't really go on and deal with that.
All right. Okay. Okay, that went fast.
I know it. I was like, my goodness, is it almost that time again? And let me just say this about those words again. That's my favorite slogan. What you articulate, you activate. So if you, and that's even with self-talk. If you're articulating, I can't, I'm not going to be able to, I'm offended. If that's what you're saying, verbally as well as what you're thinking, because your thoughts are nothing but your words that have been unspoken. And so when you begin to speak those things, you're putting those things out there. And so you have to know that, I always say it's like a feather. You can't gather up all the feathers that we throw up. So we have to be careful of the words that we say, because they are so important. They have so much power in our lives.
Be careful of the words you speak, because once you say them, they can't go back in.
Go back and grab them. You cannot. I always say people will forgive you, but they not. And some people say, I'll forgive, but I'm not going to forget. And that's sometimes the mentality. And so I think if we are careful about our words that we say to others as well as to ourselves, it would create a lot less issues for us, and create a place where people can feel where they want to welcome you into a team and want you to be on the team.
That's right. Hello, Deacon Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. And people are they are just, I don't know. They get into themselves, and it's like they want to be a part of something, but then when you try to include them,
Mhm.
they're going to have this tunnel vision and they forget about those words. And that's why I always say, okay, slow down.
Mhm.
The Bible
Mhm.
even tells us not to be swift to speak, because
Absolutely.
those thoughts, as long as they're in your mind, it's a thought. And somebody may be able to look at the expression on your face and know you're not thinking something that's very pleasant.
Mhm.
However, once you either speak it or act on it,
Act
that's
on it.
it. You know, and then you say, "Well, I didn't mean that." Yes,
Nope.
you did, because if
Yes,
you didn't, you wouldn't have said it.
yes, you did mean it. So absolutely. Yeah. We just got to be very, very careful because like you say, they lead into our behaviors, and that behavior can, cause us a lot of issues. Like I said, not people wanting to be connected with you. And it almost can even become even toxic if you don't deal with that.
All right. Because people sometimes may ask for a volunteer to work on a team, and they
Mhm.
may ask, "Well, who else is working on the team?" And they say your name.
I don't want to
I'm
know.
gonna pass this time. Or
Yes.
you may be someone that they love working on because you're organized, you're
Right.
always friendly, you help others, and they say, "Oh yeah, oh I love working on teams with
Right.
Carol.
Right.
She is. Oh yeah, put
Mhm.
me on the team." So you
Mhm.
have to be careful with your words and your actions,
Mhm.
because all of that goes before you.
It
People,
does.
they will have memories like elephants when it comes to especially negative things.
Exactly. The one thing, and that's true. They'll remember that negative, and you can do 1,000 positive, but they will focus on that one negative.
Yes. So this has been good, good, good. All right. So as we prepare to close, please, please, please provide 3 keys that
Mhm.
leaders need to build an effective team. What do you think it takes to build an effective team?
Well, I just thought I would pull a few from the team expert, John Maxwell.
All right.
And he said, people, I love this, people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. And I think a leader has to have people skills. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That means you got to be able to be a leader that's going to pull your sleeve up, and your team the team members need to know you can do that task, or there's no task too small or too large for you to do if it's going to help the whole help the team reach or accomplish the goal. And I guess my last one for would be, don't be a leader who just lead only by position because you have a position, but learn to understand and get to know the people that you're working with. Because like we said, people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. So I would think that would be one thing I would want a leader to do, because you can have, of course, quality, integrity, and all those things are important. But I think communication and people skills are very, very key to help make a team function if you're going to be the leader. And don't think you got to be the brightest one because you're the leader. Thank you, Miss Deborah.
Thank you. So we want to make sure you have great communication skills and great
Mhm.
leadership skills. And if you cannot follow, you cannot be a leader.
You cannot. That is so true. That
There's
is
so
so
many people, they see different positions at work or
true.
in ministry or whatever. Oh, I want that. Or the pastor might say, you think, yeah, I want you to lead, blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of times these things fail because, we don't look ourselves in the mirror and say, he asked me to do that and I'm honored. However, I don't have the skills, or I don't have the time, and I'm not going to be able to devote the time, and it's just going to mess everything up. Be honest.
Be honest. That's one of the things.
Not now.
Mhm. Exactly. Not now is okay. And no is okay as well, but not now. You're right. Hmm.
Yeah, but we're quick to say, he asked me to do it. Oh, yes. Girl, I'm the leader of the women's auxiliary. I'm the leader of the usher board. I'm the leader of this, I'm the leader of that. But do you have the skills? Do you have the time? Are you gonna be like the lady coach was talking about this morning? Bless the people out. Be sharp and everything.
Yep.
That's what I talk to people, because then you're gonna run the people off that you already had working.
Right.
So we have to be very, very careful. So we want our young people. We hope that if there is anyone that that, and we have leaders. I work with children's ministry, and we have, when I say leadership, we begin to teach them, and some of them are so sharp. So whatever age of you think that this information will help someone as they begin to get tougher assignments, because they will have to work on team projects, please share this information, because that is why we are here. That is why I ask people to come on, because I am quick to say I don't know it all. So anybody that wants to step up and say, hey, I would like to be on because I'm good at this, and I think I would love to talk to young men. Hey, send me a message, contact somebody. Let me know. I want you on here.
Absolutely. Yes. And great job you're doing, even on this platform, as far as the guests and the it's always great content when I'm looking, and so I enjoy the people that you've had on with their expertise as well. So you're right. Share this and share it with young people, because there is so much that they can gain from this that will help them move into the next level of their lives.
Yes, thank you so much. And please, like I say, please share with them, because we want to make sure that they are, people feel comfortable about what they're doing, because sometimes, it's like, well, I don't know. And you can't do better if you don't know better. So whoever you can share the information with, that would be wonderful.
Right.
And so, I appreciate that. And also, I would like for you to please visit my website. It's on the screen, www.buildyourbestlife.org. I have a blog that comes out every Monday. I would love for you to begin reading my blogs. You can find out more about my platform if this is your first time on. You can follow me on all social media. It's right there on the website. So that's the best way. If you know someone that's going to be on and you want to join in, you click on that icon at the time that the live goes live, and it'll bring you right to our live conversation. As well, you can visit my web store so you can see my the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultation, speaking, webinar speaking, and you can get your autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. And this book is for everyone. It has basic principles that will assist you and anyone that you know in building their best life by following basic principles. You can get your autographed copy on my website. You can get an e-copy on Amazon.com. But it makes a great gift, and it is wonderful for our young people to assist them, because basic principles never go away, and they are not taught, I don't think, in the schools anymore. So it's just wonderful information. So you want to tell us anything else about what you're doing, Carol?
Well, yes, and thank you, Deborah. If you would like to follow me, I am on Facebook, and you can follow me at the Power Words with Carol Crockett, and also Deborah and I together are co-hosting a radio show. So I'm there on the third Monday night of Ricardo Miller Effective Living radio show on Fishbowl Network. And so I would love to have you come in on the third, and Deborah's on the, what are you on, the fourth? Fourth, and Deborah's on the fourth. And we have, in our community, we have 4 other that's hosting the radio show. So I would love to have you on that radio show.
Thank you so much. And please join us on Thursday. I will be here again talking about relationships. We're going to finish out the month with that, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday. And then on Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia. And we got a hot
Hot
Juicy
topic.
topic for you this Saturday, so you need to tune in. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in to Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia.
All right.
Think you will enjoy it. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I enjoyed it. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you for tuning in. So please, by all means, be safe out there. You know, these numbers are going up.
Absolutely.
We're glad that the FDA did approve the Pfizer vaccine. Those who have been waiting for those drugs to be approved, so that one has been approved. But please be safe out there, because this COVID is not playing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Absolutely. Be responsible. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. All those things we need to continue to put in place if we want to stay safe.
Yeah, and everybody that knows Miss Denise Dinkins, please continue to pray for her.
Absolutely.
She's healing at this time.
Right, right. Absolutely.
So thank you so much. But as always, you know, as you're on your journey to being a better you, you will, no doubt, run into distractions, pitfalls, rough terrain, and detours. Don't let any of these negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Stay tuned. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Carol. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I did too.